Hello dear students. So now we are going to see the continuation of the previous topic that we have been discussing. The previous topic was gradient of single neuron. We are connecting it to our next topic, which is gradient of fully connected network. So let's go for it. So, gradient of a fully connected network can be calculated when we generalize our single neuron model. Okay, so we generalize the single neuron model to a single layer network of fully connected network as shown in the figure. So this is the figure. So you can see here very carefully what we have done previously. Just a second. So what you have done previously was like we only chose one neuron, right? We had j number of inputs previously, and you always used to write this like w 1 for the first input, 1 for the first output, and this particular one for the first layer. Similarly, you would write if this particular connection you are talking, you would write you would write j1 and then 1, correct? Now we were only discussing about this one particular neuron. So you had a neuron with a half. First was linear part, which we called it as z, and then you add an activation function part, logical part, which we call it as sigma, correct? But now we have got a large number of neurons here. It's no more a single neuron model, right? So that's how we write a generalized term here to represent our weights, which is W, J, K, and over there you have a superscript of 1. So that means J is the jth input node that I am talking. K is the kth output node because I have now more than one neuron. I no more have only one. I have k number of neurons, so I'll have k number of outputs. So J represents input nodes, K represents number of output nodes or that particular output node, and this superscript of 1 represents the first layer that you are discussing. Okay, so now for this first layer where you have n number of k number of neurons, you are expecting k number of outputs out of total j input nodes. So in between you will have this linear relationship that you are forming before giving it to a logical function. You will have z1 of the first layer till z2 first layer, so on up to zk of the first layer, correct? So you have this small k and this is capital K, so don't worry, this is small j and this is capital J. You can use some other notations also of your wish, but just be careful. Okay, so now you have got output coming out of this first activation function as O1 of first layer you are discussing. Similarly, O small k of first layer and O capital K of first layer. So this is how it is. So once you calculate these total number of outputs, again you have true values associated with every neuron. You are going to find out the difference between these two by using mean square error loss function, and the same strategy you are going to calculate dou L by W J K as in reference. Okay, so this is what we will do. So just moving back, and I was discussing we generalize the single neuron model to a single layer network of fully connected network, which I just showed you in the figure. The input layer obtains output vector O1 through a fully connected layer. So why it is called fully connected layer? Because you can see here all the each node is connected to every other node in this particular figure. Okay, so now you have got this as a fully connected layer where you will be calculating the loss function in terms of mean squared error with respect to a real label vector t. So the number of input nodes total I am assuming capital J, number of total output nodes I am assuming capital K. Any arbitrary input node I am assuming as small j, any arbitrary output node I am assuming as small k. So this is how you are going to work with, correct? So I really hope this figure is clear with you. Now I am moving on with the derivation. So now this multi-output fully connected layer, suppose you have multiple layers, okay now. So in that case what will happen? it will differ from this single neuron model. It will have more than one output nodes. Okay, so O1 of 1, as you are seeing, O1 of 1, O2 of 1, O3 of 1, because you have more than one neuron present, more than one node, neuron node, you know, they are, I can use them separately, you know, they are interchangeable to me. So when you have multiple output nodes, that is multiple neurons are present, so you are having multiple outputs present. You always have a real label T1, T2, Tk, which I just showed you in the figure. Now important part is, when you are generalizing this, you write it as small. So a generalized node J input, K output, the way it is written as noted as WJK, and if I am talking on first layer, I will write it as a superscript. So that's how it works. And suppose you want to calculate the loss function, this is the way you are going to write. So of course it is the difference between OI, I am just taking I from 1 to k, that's how is total number of output nodes for me. So generalizedly I will write OI, and over there subscript as 1 to show it is of first layer, minus the true label for that particular node Ti, and I take it whole square, I summate, and then I average it out. Correct. So that's how I calculate the mean squared error loss function, which I have been doing since I taught you. Now, next is what we are going to take is, one second, we are going to find out the gradient, right? So let's see, you are calculating dou L by dou W J K, correct? And for that, already I told you it was half, say OK minus TK, there was a summation, and then a whole square. So I am not using summation here if I am choosing I as K. Okay, so if I choose not to do for ease of my derivation, so when I do that and I am deriving, so this was L, so when I am derivating it with respect to, partially derivating it with respect to WJK, again I will get this as half into 2 of OK minus TK, and then you have this internal derivative that is present, correct? So 2 gets cancelled, what you get is OK minus TK and this internal derivative. So you all know this OK, I'm sorry for this, this is OK. So we all know this OK is nothing but this, your OK is nothing but sigmoid of Z value, ZK. So I am just simply resubstituting it for ease of access, because as I have done for single neuron, I can replace the gradient of activation function of sigmoid as sigma into 1 minus sigma, right? So I can replace it with that. For that reason, I am simply putting it in that form. So now I will be moving on to the next slide. So you can see here, what did I get? When I substituted, as I discussed, gradient of my activation function, I got sigma zk 1 minus sigma zk, and this is not to be forgotten, this is my internal derivative. Okay, this is one important point which you must remember while you are writing this in your exam. Okay, so now if I want to put everything in terms of OK, like this is the same strategy we followed for single neuron also, right? So I want to put everything in terms of OK. So I know that sigma is nothing of ZK is nothing but OK. 1 minus OK I'll get. So that's how I got here. Partial derivative of loss function is OK minus TK, OK, 1 minus OK, and this part retains as it is. So as usual, I am replacing this partial derivative with that input node xj. So this is what is my final equation. So here also I am concluding that even if it is a multiple output node or not a single neuron model, multiple output model, then also the the gradient of the loss function is dependent only on the predicted output, the true value output or actual output, and that input value at that particular time, and no other parameter is present. So this is our conclusion over here when we are trying to do it for multi output model also. So next, it can be seen that the partial derivative of WJK is related only to the output node that we just discussed, the label TK, true label, and the corresponding input node. So now what I am doing little bit here extra in this particular model is, in the previous equation I am replacing this OK minus TK, OK TK as one single letter as delta K. That's my notation. So that's how as simple as that. This becomes delta k into xj. So this is my notation. For ease of my notation, I am writing it in that way, where delta k is ok minus tk, ok 1 minus ok. Correct. So once I write that, I now try to determine what is this. So go to the previous side and please understand now that this is the thing that I must remember. This is the gradient of my loss function is dependent on delta k dot xj. Correct. So that means the variable delta k characterizes a certain characteristic of error gradient propagation of the end node of connection line, and after using this delta k and you calculated the partial derivative, it is only related, you found out that it is the gradient is only related to the starting node of the input, that is xj, and the ending node delta k. Okay. And now that the gradient propagation method of single layer neural network, that is output layer, has been derived, of the first layer we derived, suppose you have got multiple layers, then you will go towards the gradient propagation method of penultimate layers. So layer by layer, this strategy only goes on. Okay. So after completing the propagation derivation of penultimate layer, similarly, gradient propagation mode of all hidden layers can be derived cyclically to obtain gradient calculation expression of all the layer parameters. So this is about the strategy of how do you calculate the gradient of loss function. The next topic, when I teach you after chain rule, is proper backpropagation algorithm. Then you will solve this jigsaw puzzle. You will come to know why I taught you gradient of single neuron, why I am teaching you gradient of multi-layer, multi-output, then how this multi-output can be actually extended to multi-layer. So you will understand it in a more better way then. So for now, you understand how did we calculate our gradient of this fully connected layer, and then we go on to our next particular topic.